Yes, clap and applause for the CSL Dallas music team. Thank you, thank you. Good morning and welcome to CSL Dallas. Thank you for joining us wherever you are in the world and for those who are joining us right here on campus. Every day is a day for transformation, spiritual deepening, and heart connection, no matter what's going on. Every day we learn and practice something important that makes a difference. We love that you are on this journey with us so we can paint a new picture for 2022. Now let's celebrate with the CSL Dallas music team as they set the tone for today's celebration.
Joy and harmony, peace, love and joy and harmony, peace, love and joy and harmony, peace, love and joy and harmony. I've got peace and harmony, I've got joy inside of me, I've got love in all that I do, and the wisdom to know the truth. Peace and harmony, joy inside of me. I've got love in all that I do, and the wisdom to know the truth. Peace, love, and joy and harmony. 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 I've got peace and harmony, joy inside of me. I've got love in all that I do, and the wisdom to know the truth. I've got the wisdom and harmony, joy inside of me. I've got love in all that I do, and the wisdom to know the truth, and the wisdom to know the truth, and the wisdom to know the truth.
Yes, yes. Good morning, CSL Dallas. My name is Joe Tinker. I will be your platform assistant today as we move through this Celebration Sunday. Welcome here in the sanctuary. We're glad for you that could be here now that our campus is open again. Welcome, welcome. And all of you streaming, we're glad that you're with us here this morning. We're just so pleased with the way both of those tracks keep growing and expanding. We come better and better at each. And thank you for your part in making that happen. Let's check in on social media. Remember, when you check in on your favorite social media and let people know of your support for CSL Dallas, that you're here, it expands our presence. It lets your friends know and the world beyond. Maybe leave us a good review on Google this week too. It all helps. Log in, your favorite social media, and do your part to help promote CSL Dallas. Now, why are we here together? Let us say our purpose statement together. Here we go. We are radically inclusive, spiritually progressive, transforming lives. And so it is. Awesome. All right. Are you ready to dive into some spiritual classes, get out of the sacred disruption part, and into the reimagine everything part? Well, it's time. Let's start with change your thinking, change your life. That starts tomorrow night at 7 p.m., and it is an online class only. This is the first of 2 courses that are actually replacing foundations. Those of you who've been with the Science of Mind for a long time are familiar with the foundations and how core that is to our understandings. Well, this one is designed to help you uncover hidden beliefs, thoughts, and behaviors. The class empowers you to grow in relationships, in money, and in health, but using spiritual practices. And these are practices that change everything. It can turn everything around in every part of your life in the direction of your dreams. So you'll learn to apply this new philosophy and, as we said, impact every part of your life. And for those of you that are going for a deeper dive, this month we also have Ernest Holmes' Life and Times. Ernest Holmes was a scholar, a teacher, a healer, metaphysician, a visionary who from his youth, he exhibited an insatiable curiosity about, here we go, science, philosophy, religion, and how the 3 intersect. Explore your own path as you encounter great moments of truth and revelation along the way. It's a journey you don't want to miss. The Life and Times of Ernest Holmes. It begins next week on March 15th. This one's available in person and online, so either way, whichever's best for you. Or also next Tuesday, March 15th, Kirby is hosting our first community jam. All right, time to get your music on. The first community jam will be the 15th. It's from 7 to 8:30. It's in person. This will be a creative space. It's open to share your passion for music. You have opportunity to jam with other musicians from CSL Dallas. So bring your acoustic guitar, your drums, spoons, flute, clappers, clangers, whatever you have, or just bring yourself, bring your hands. You'll have the opportunity to come and play, dance, cultivate joy, and see music as the great gift that it is. Yeah. This is, by the way, a no-pressure environment. So you come with what you wish, participate at the level that you wish to participate, hanging out with cool people at CSL Dallas who love music too. Sounds like a good time, no? All right. So, finally, we are so glad to be able to start involving ourselves in our rituals again here in person. We're going to begin our rituals again this year with a metaphysical Seder Dinner. So it's springtime. It's time for a Seder Dinner. It's going to celebrate Passover, and this will be on April 15th. And by the way, anyone who can hear me online or here in the sanctuary who is Jewish and is willing to participate on a level, say, in participating with the readings, will just get in touch with Dr. Petra because she would love to have your support at the Seder. Tickets will go on sale next week, and everyone's going to be included, including kids. It is an actual meal, the Seder meal. This promises, though, to be a rich and a deep experience for everyone that attends. Now, let's affirm why we are in community together by going within and singing, "When I Forget, Will You Remember for Me?"
When I forget, will you remember for me? When I forget, will you remember for me? Help me see what you see when I forget. remember for you. I will see what you can't see. When you forget.
And in this moment, let us remember together as we relax into a prayerful moment, a reflective moment, a peaceful moment, that when each one of us forgets, there is someone to remember. When I forget, you will remember. It's a lovely day. When you forget, I will remember. Peace, love, and harmony. Let us in this moment commit to remembering that each one of us can paint a new picture in our lives. Let us know, and let us remember that now is the time. And right here, right now in this moment, let us make a commitment to remember for ourselves and each other that life is good in spite of what we might see or experience or feel that tries to convince us otherwise, that whether it is a medical diagnosis or whether it is someone being unkind to us, whether it is fear, whether it is a sense of failure, whether it is war going on in the world or misunderstanding, no matter what it is, let us commit right now to take a breath and remember. Let this be our commitment to be the peace, love, and joy and harmony in the world. Let our words and our actions create a lovely day. Today and every day. And I invite you to affirm this with me by saying, and so it is.
When I forget, will you remember for me? When I forget, will you remember for me? Help me see what you see when I forget. You forget, I will remember for you. I will see what you can't see. When you forget.
will listen all day long, and I will listen all day long. Oh yeah, hey yeah.
Oh yeah, hey yeah.
Oh yeah, hey yeah.
Oh yeah, hey yeah. Oh yeah, hey yeah.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Oh yeah, hey yeah.
Oh yeah, hey yeah.
Oh yeah, hey yeah.
Oh yeah, hey yeah. Hallelujah.
Oh yeah, hey yeah.
Oh yeah, hey yeah.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. Oh yeah, hey yeah. Oh yeah, hey yeah. Oh yeah, hey yeah. Hallelujah. Oh yeah, hey yeah. Oh yeah, hey yeah. Oh yeah, hey yeah. Hallelujah. Oh yeah, hey yeah. Hallelujah. I am moving to the rhythm of the Holy Spirit. This dance of life, God inspires, keeps me dancing. My faith is strong, keeps me dancing. My faith is strong. Oh yeah, hey yeah. Oh yeah, hey yeah. Oh yeah, hey yeah. Oh yeah, hey yeah. Hallelujah. Oh yeah, hey yeah. Oh yeah, hey yeah. Oh yeah, hey yeah. Hallelujah. Oh yeah, hey yeah. Oh yeah, hey yeah. Hallelujah. There's a silence in the stillness of the Holy Spirit. Oh, what a light God is shining. Let us see it everywhere. Let us be it everywhere. Oh yeah, hey yeah. Oh yeah, hey yeah. Oh yeah, hey yeah. Oh yeah, hey yeah. Hallelujah. Oh yeah, hey yeah. Oh yeah, hey yeah. Oh yeah, hey yeah. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Oh yeah, hey yeah. Hallelujah. Oh yeah, hey yeah. Hallelujah.
Ready? And 1, 2, 1, 2, ready. There's a world that's waiting for us just ahead, bursting at the seams with love and happiness. Picture this. Everyone and every nation lives in peace. War is all forgotten and all hatred is deceased. And picture this. Life will be what we choose to see. Picture this. Living life with plenty, every child is fed. No one wants for anything and no one begs for bread. Yeah. Picture this. Never do we worry about what lies ahead, knowing that our happy destiny is in our hands. Yeah. Picture this. Oh, life will bring what we choose to believe. Picture this. Walking through tomorrow with your hand in mine, laughing at the troubles that we've all left behind. Picture this. Flying through forever, dancing on a cloud, finding out that heaven is right here and right now. Picture this. Oh, and life will be what we choose to see. Picture this. Come on and picture this. And everybody gonna picture this. Come on and picture this.
Kirby and Jonathan, Matt, and Brad, thank you so much for that fabulous Jack Fowler song. If you're not familiar with it, Jack Fowler wrote that, Picture This. Thank you so much, and thank you for that fabulous guitar solo. I love that, right? So we have an amazing band, and so we really want to acknowledge them one more time. Fabulous band, awesome, awesome, and an extraordinary music team, and we are so blessed. And we are so blessed, and we're so grateful to have that, to like get the juices flowing, right? And so it feels a little bit like that as we are slowly but surely emerging out of the pandemic. Yes, and we slowly but surely feel the juices flowing. And we want to gather that in, and we want to engage with it in a really powerful way. As you know, our theme for the year is Sacred Disruption, Reimagine Everything. Sacred disruption has already happened. It's going to continue happening, right? Right, we know that. Lots of different disruptions of different kinds we have in our lives, some of them very personal, some of them national, some of them international, as we know. With very unexpected wars around the world and all kinds of nonsense going on. And so our job is to contribute to reimagine everything, which we have discovered as a staff and in our leadership is actually a tall order. We're not actually sure exactly what it means to reimagine everything. Mostly what we tend to do is want to improve things. We want to do it better. But doing it better is not reimagining it. Yeah. Okay, you got to really bend your mind around that, right? Because it is one of the most difficult things I've discovered with this stupid theme that we will now be living for a year. is actually try to reimagine things. Now, that doesn't mean everything has to be thrown out. Some things are working perfectly fine, and we love them, and we keep them in our own lives, and all the good work that's being done in the world, and all the people that are, we're all contributing to something really valuable in lots and lots of different ways. But clearly there are things that in the disruption, right, what makes it sacred is the opportunity to do it differently on the other side of the disruption. That's one of the ways in which we decide to make the disruption sacred. So we're beginning our annual Step Out in Faith program. This is an opportunity for our whole community collectively to together really work deeply on a particular idea or topic and unfold it. So we have, Reverend Patty and I have created this fabulous, if in my ever so humble opinion, this fabulous program called 6 Steps to Paint a New Picture. And in the exploration of trying to really get a hold of not only what does it mean to reimagine, but how do we move into that space where we're living a reimagined life. And so 6 steps to paint a new picture allows us to move through it very consistently. So our program includes opportunities on Sunday morning for a message. We'll be talking about it Wednesday nights. And then there are home study groups. The home study groups this year, all the hosts have chosen to offer them online. So you can be anywhere in the world, and you can be in a home study group with CSL Dallas working these 6 steps. We have a beautiful, thanks to Patty, Reverend Patty, a beautiful workbook. There are videos that come out each week that you will view in your home study group and then work through that week's workbook, that week's section. Today is the last day that you can sign up for a home study group. So Ryan is putting that link in the chat if you are online. If you're here in the sanctuary, there are sign-up sheets over in Pankey Hall, or you can simply email info@csldallas.org, and you will be organized into, Reverend Patty will put you into a home study group. That way, we want our entire community in home study groups. We want all of us to be diving in more deeply together because we want us to be able to share the journey. That's what it means, our annual Step Out in Faith program. All right, so that's what we're doing, and today we're beginning with the idea of to paint a new picture, which of course, as I said, is the opportunity to reimagine everything, or at least reimagine something in our life that has felt as though we have an opportunity based on this disruption. So having a conversation the other day, somebody said to me, it feels as though we have the opportunity, or what happened during the pandemic, if you were not very challenged in terms of work or home, if you were not in a really difficult situation, for many people it was an opportunity to discover a whole new balance in life, right? Not all the commute, maybe not all the work, maybe the work differently at home. Lots and lots of people who were not negatively impacted actually had an opportunity to experience more balance in life. Maybe that's true for you. Maybe you have the opportunity now to actually find entirely different work than you had before because there are whole new opportunities. Maybe now the job that you had that used to pay $7 an hour is actually paying $15 an hour. What a concept! To actually provide living wages for those people who are we depend upon. So there's lots of ways in which this disruption gives us an opportunity not to reimagine, to rethink, to paint a new picture of our life as a whole. Not just, I want something to be different, or I want to manifest a particular thing, which of course we can do. We can manifest a particular thing. But painting a new picture really is about reimagining our life. As we can see, so many things that we've become accustomed to in the last 50 years have brought us to a precipice that we are going to have to reimagine. We're going to have to reimagine how we're engaged with plastic, with energy, with transportation, with equity. There's so many ways in which we have to reimagine what we've become used to in the last 50, 100, 150, 1,000, 2,000 years. So it's not just painting a new picture about something like very specific or I want a house or a job, although, as I said, you can do that. This is about thinking about our lives. Does our life reflect our values? Does our life reflect the things that are important to us? Does our life reflect maybe a new balance, a new awareness, a new spiritual awakening, a new social conscience, a new desire to be engaged in a different way, a deep commitment to making a difference? Does our life actually evidence that those are the things that are important to us? Disruption gives us an opportunity to really look and examine that and find those places where something new can emerge. The first step to paint a new picture, it all begins with desire. It all begins with desire. We have so much misunderstanding about the word desire. How many of us immediately think about sexual attraction? Desire. How many of us think about, oh, I desire that thing that I saw on an ad or that a person had. Gosh, I just desire my life to look like the things I see on TV. The desires that we often have are actually cultivated by our economy. We are enculturated to be unsatisfied with what we have and to desire more or something different. If we study the spiritual traditions, right, and so much of Buddhism has been translated into the idea that desire is the problem. If we could just stop desiring things, then we would be fine. The science of mind takes an entirely different tack. What you might not realize is the science of mind was written at the same time that psychoanalysis was coming into fruition, the same time that Freud was doing his work. And Freud came up with the idea, right, that our desires was all this whatever machinations about our sexuality as children and young people, and got a little weird, right? And so Ernest Holmes was aware of all of that work that was being done. And if you read the original Science of Mind textbook, you'll actually see that the Science of Mind began to engage in that conversation. The Science of Mind says that desire is the irresistible urge. Oh, my E fell, sorry. The irresistible urge towards self-expression. It's not a sexual act at all. It is the urge of life. It is the very life that is the one life, that is the spiritual life, the truth of being, that actually causes us to get up in the morning, to walk around in our lives, to seek relationships and activities, to want to make a difference in life, to be all that we can be. That is the desire of life as us. All of creation is the desire of life to express itself. Now, what we know about you and I is that you and I are the place where the universal has become individualized and self-aware. or as self-aware as we can manage. And so the desire, the deepest desires, not those cultivated by our economy and our marketing and our dissatisfaction, but those deep desires of our soul, is then the way that life urge is expressing as us. I think we have a lot of challenge sometimes at understanding what our desire actually is. So I really, in preparation for all of this work, I've spent weeks now really thinking about this and exploring it for myself and in my own life. And one of the things that I think is confusing or takes us off track is that we misunderstand and we think that our desires are for something concrete, a form. And that if we don't know what we want in terms of a form of some sort, a type of job, or a type of home, or a type of work, or a type of relationship, if we don't know what we want, then we're confused about how it is that we can tap into our desire. But I will submit to you that our deepest desires, those that are our soul desires, the desires of our soul, have nothing to do with form. They have everything to do with the self-expression of our lives. I'll give you an example, because I really had to stop and think about this. So I remember, many of you know, I moved to Dallas. I moved to this area when my son was 18 months old. I found myself a single parent with an infant, and I called up my mother. She had moved here maybe 8-10 years before, and I said, hey, I'd like to have some help. Can you help me? And that was a really amazing manifestation experience, which I've shared and some of you have heard. It was really powerfully unbelievable experience of manifestation for me. But in exploring that and remembering that, I realized that my desire wasn't to manifest the ability to move to Texas and live with my mother. Actually, the desire that I had was not to put my son into daycare for 12 hours. That was my soul's desire. Not to put my son in daycare for 12 hours, but to be present as much as possible as a working parent, to be present as much as possible in his life. Do you see that that desire does not have a form? I didn't know when I first began thinking about what I was going to do as a single parent, I didn't know what that was going to look like. And it was out of that desire that came the thought, call your mother. I didn't know that they were going to say yes. I ran away from home when I was 15. I didn't know that they were going to invite me into the house. I didn't know how my stepfather was going to feel about that. I didn't know whether I was going to be able to move out of the state. I didn't know what my ex-husband was going to do. Right? All of those are the forms. The desire was to care for my son in a lifestyle of my choosing. Do you see? Reverend Karen, as you know, has told the story often about how she ended up here in Dallas, a place she said she would never come back to ever again because she had already lived here. And when her life in Oakland was blowing up, when things weren't coming together as she had hoped, somebody said to her, asked her, what do you want from your life and your ministry if you let go of form? And she said, I want to do ministry and thrive while doing it. Do you see? Didn't have a particular label of where that was going to happen, how that was going to happen, what it looked like. But her soul's desire was not to do ministry part-time. Do you see? When I first got into the ministry, when I first decided to go into the ministry, many of you have heard the story, I was turned down 3 times by our ministerial school. I was 19 years old, and they said, go have a life. Come back when you're 45. And I was like, no, you don't understand. I'm going to be a minister. No, come back. 3 times I was turned down. So finally I said, fine, then that's fine. I'm just going to start my own ministerial school, which I did in Seattle, with my mentor minister there and a previous dean of the CSL Ministerial School. And we did create something. We were 2 years in before they actually looked and said, wow, it looks like you're going to actually do something there. And we were able to be acknowledged as a satellite of that school. And we were able to then become ministers. But I didn't set out with a desire to go to ministerial school. I sure as hell did not set out for the desire to create a ministerial school and all the work that required, and all the fundraising and all the everything. No, because I examined that and I thought, well, what was my soul's desire? My soul's desire was to find meaningful, contributing work that would use every skill I have, that would use all of me, where I would leave nothing off the table. That was my soul's desire, that I would give all of myself into something that made a difference. That turned into ministry, and it turned into creating a ministerial school, and it turned into starting a community, and it turned into moving to Dallas, and it turned into becoming here, and it turned into us growing a community. Do you see? When we're talking about it starts with desire, that's what I'm talking about. And there are many different ways that our soul's desire unfolds, and at different stages of our life, it shapes differently. I said to a friend of mine, actually a prayer partner of mine, a few months ago when I realized how much childcare Karen and I were doing for our granddaughter, which was actually very, very, very unexpected. And I said, oh my God, I think I've organized my entire life around family. I didn't know that was so important to me. Well, he just about fell off the floor laughing. He said, Petra, I've known that about you for a really long time. I didn't know that about myself. I didn't know that one of my soul's desire, because we're an immigrant family, there's only 4 of us in the United States. My entire family lives in Germany. My sister has moved back to England. So it's, me and Jason. And you guys. Do you see? One of the reasons why I'm in community and I love being with you, whether it's in person or online, is because one of my soul's desire is family. And I will do everything and anything to create a space for that family, to support that family. Every decision is based on that desire. Do you see? Those are your soul's desires. And I was stunned to realize that I have, in fact, since I was an adult, organized my entire life around how important that is to me, how much my soul desires that, despite the fact that I appear to be career-driven and some people will say a workaholic. My soul desire. What is your soul's desire? Not the form, the life that you are here to express and experience. Do you see? That's what it means when we paint a no picture, is to reacquaint ourselves with our soul's desires. I don't think we have just one, right? See, I've already shared 2 of mine. And the way in which they get expressed change. It shifts over the course of time, different stages of our life, different people, different activities. And new deep soul's desire may emerge as we go through the stages of life. We might have a soul's desire to go back and learn, or to start learning something, or to stop working and go on adventures, to express ourselves in new ways. When we talk about painting a new picture and that it all starts with desire, it's getting a hold of those things and allowing the forms to be a little fluid. Which takes us to the second piece of this first idea of painting a new picture. And that is to develop a new palette from which we are creating our lives. Maybe even explore a new medium. So many of us, myself included, have created a life with a palette of home, job, work, right? If you go to do any personal growth or self-help awareness classes, things like that, even Barbara Marx Hubbard, as a futurist, she says there's 8 areas of our life that we have to pay attention to. Finances, relationship, family, work, creative expression, and 3 others which at the moment escape me. But they're like slices of things. And so we think about creating our life by how much time we spend at the gym, and whether we go out to dinner with a friend, and what our work situation is, and where we live, right? And these are this is the palette. What I'm going to suggest is, in painting a new picture and reimagining everything, is that we create an entirely new palette. What if our palette instead was contribution, making a difference? What if our palette was the expression of love? What if our palette included our personal creativity? What if our palette included connecting in oneness with people and nature? Do you see what an entirely different palette, what an entirely different forms and picture might come from a palette that was in alignment with our desires as opposed to with the forms? What this means is we explore the medium of a spiritually grounded and informed life, as opposed to a life that is built on the outward stuff. And quite frankly, the things we're supposed to do. This does not mean you're not going to have a house and a car and a job and things like that. But do you see? They become the outpicturing of the reimagining of our lives. The painting a new picture of our life in a way that represents and expresses those soul desires. We're going to spend the next 5 weeks, well, we're going to spend this week diving into that. You're going to dive into that in your home study group. You're going to have an opportunity to go more deeply and really think some of these things through with the exercises and in the sharing. And I invite you, if you're not in a home study group, to get the monthly study guide and just spend some time with that this week. It's an opportunity for exploration, examination, and to experience what the opening is in the disruption that has happened. We're going to spend the next 5 weeks talking about how to harness that, what's going to get in the way, the kinds of things that are going to come up that could be troublesome, and how we overcome them, and how we move forward in this reimagining. This program is not about manifesting the life of your dreams in 6 weeks. Sorry, it's not. This program is designed to provide you with a foundation from which you can build a life, maybe in a whole new way, or maybe just expanding the way your spirituality has begun to invite you to paint a picture, a new picture, a reimagined picture of your own self-expression. Because actually, That's the whole point. You are here to express life in a way that no one else can, no one else does. You are here to give your gift, to contribute in a way that no one else can contribute. And when all of us do that together, we lift each other up into a new picture for humanity and our planet. So, step out in faith with us this month, actually all the way through till Easter. Step out in faith with us as we paint a new picture together. Let us pray. Just inviting us to go within for a moment, to breathe in the infinite, that which is behind, beneath, around, through, and so much more than the cosmos. It is the urge of life itself. The urge of life itself to express and become, that pours itself into creation. And it has poured itself in, through, and as each one of us. This morning, we open ourselves to listen, to hear the desire of our soul, to feel the impress of life, to acknowledge that there is a unique filter system that we ourselves are, that shines the light of life into the world in a whole new way that no one else can do. And today, we take up the paintbrush, or we sit at the potter's wheel, or we decide to get out the welding torch, and we find new mediums, new ideas, new opportunities for that self-expression. What I affirm and declare for each of us is that this is in alignment with the deepest truth of who we are. And as we do this for ourselves, it is a gift to others, inviting them into their greater yet to be, thereby lifting humanity out of war, out of separation, out of hunger and loneliness and all of the ills of the world, into that greater expression of a life well lived, of love expressed, joy shared, beauty expounded. It is to this that we are called each and every day. I'm grateful every time we answer the call, and I'm grateful every time the universe says yes. We let it be, and so it is.
Thank you, Dr. Petra. Our greeters are coming forward with our offering baskets, and so this is that time of the service. Let us come together in an abundance affirmation, and we'll say this together as you see it here on the screen. Here we go. I am certain that the divine intends only good, only abundance for me, because it is the very essence of life and givingness. Divine abundance is forever manifesting in my affairs. I know that I shall prosper in everything I do. And so it is. Thank you so much. You know, we had our annual meeting last week, and one of the things that Petra and Karen were able to report was the tremendous percentage of our pledges and tithes that have been fulfilled throughout the pandemic. It's really a commendation about you at CSL Dallas and all of you streaming with us from home. Yes, absolutely. We make commitments to support the organization through our gifts and our tithes. And then not only do we say what we'll do, but we do what we say. And if you haven't begun that journey with us yet, we encourage you today to take part in that. You can do this sacred giving online. There's information there on your screen about how to do that. And certainly here, all of you in the sanctuary, thank you for making your gifts this morning. And that may you always live a life where you know that you have more than enough to share and to spare at all times. Mark your calendars. Talk about saving some money. We're going to have a big book sale at CSL Dallas, and that's going to happen on March 20th and 27th here on campus. So if you haven't been back on campus, another good reason to come see how things are going here in person. Also, we have a new March artist in Pankey Hall, so be sure and check out the gallery so that you can learn about Terry Becker. Now, Terry's not with us this morning, but you'll have an opportunity to meet her. Terry is an artist who is in constant pursuit of beautifully curated design, and she's a creator of intoxicating spaces because, you see, she's passionate about interior design and making spaces reflective of the people or the business with whom she's working. Terry specializes in interior and exterior residential and commercial remodels, and she has been winning some awards here of late, and we're very proud that Terry's one of our longtime members here. We also benefit in that she serves on the Sacred Space team here at CSL Dallas. Originally from Austin, she's been painting for 20 years in oil and acrylic and watercolor. She's also a talented photographer and a jewelry maker. She and her daughter Cora and the dog Lucky live in Dallas now, and they are long-time members. As I said, she's the leader of our Sacred Space team, and they create our beautiful monthly altars, as you see here, and also sacred artistic touches all throughout the center here on campus. You can meet Terry on the 20th, so please do come to see her then, and you can start checking out her work in Pankey Hall. And also remember, today after service, you can get a spiritual mind treatment and spiritual support right after the service. For those of you online, you'll have instructions on how you can meet in a private Zoom room with one of our practitioners. And so please take advantage of that. And those of you that are on campus, simply walk across the breezeway to the Peace Room on the other side of the breezeway and meet with a practitioner here in person this morning. Also, you can join us for coffee and snacks, which we'll have in Pankey Hall today. Hope that you'll stop by over there and have that a little bit of social time with us today. Now, as we at CSL Dallas continue to commit to peace across the world, and particularly focused in Ukraine and everywhere, we want to close this celebration and join the CSL Dallas Band as we sing together, "I Am a Stand for Peace."
1, 2, and 1, 2.
Let there be peace. I am a stand for peace. Let there be love. I am a stand for love. Let there be joy. I am a stand for joy. We are making a new world now. Let there be peace. I am a stand for peace. Let there be love. I am a stand for love. Let there be joy. I am a stand for joy. We are making a new world now.
One more time.
Let there be peace. I am a stand for peace. Let there be love.